In the spring of 1944, a group of American pilots gathered around a P-51 Mustang on the tarmac of an airbase in England. The roar of engines filled the air, a symphony of power and precision, while the scent of fuel mingled with the crispness of the morning breeze. These pilots faced a daunting question. How could a relatively small fighter plane take on the formidable German Messerschmitts, renowned for their speed and agility? Conventional wisdom suggested that the odds were stacked against them, yet the P-51 was about to rewrite the rules of aerial combat. This episode isn't about the P-51's sleek design or its advanced armament. It's about the strategic ingenuity that revolutionized air warfare and decided wars. In the early years of World War II, the landscape of aerial combat was dominated by the German Luftwaffe and its advanced fighters, particularly the Messerschmitt Bf-109. The Allies, particularly the United States, faced significant challenges as they sought to establish air superiority over Europe. American pilots trained on aircraft that often lacked the range and performance of their German counterparts, leading to a pervasive sense of urgency and desperation within the military leadership. Doctrine emphasized quantity over quality, with the belief that sheer numbers could overwhelm the enemy. As the war progressed, the Allies recognized the need for a fighter that could match the performance of the Bf-109. Initial designs were often flawed, with engineers struggling to balance speed, maneuverability, and firepower. The development of the P-51 Mustang began in 1940, with the British company North American Aviation tasked with creating a new fighter. Early models were powered by an Allison engine, which limited their high-altitude performance, making them less effective against German fighters. By 1943, however, the P-51 was re-engineered to include the Rolls-Royce Merlin engine, transforming its capabilities. This new power plant allowed the Mustang to reach higher altitudes and attain greater speeds, turning it into a formidable adversary. Aircrews were trained on this new version, but many remained skeptical. Would this aircraft truly be able to compete with the well-established Messerschmitts? At the same time, the German forces underestimated the impact of the P-51. They believed their tactical superiority would remain unchallenged, relying on their experience and the perceived technological edge of their aircraft. As the Allies launched missions over Europe, German commanders held a firm belief that their fighters would dominate the skies, leaving them unprepared for the shifting balance of power. The strategic bombing campaigns initiated by the Allies sought to cripple German industrial capabilities. However, without adequate fighter escort, bombers were vulnerable to interception by German fighters. The introduction of the P-51 changed this dynamic, as it could escort bombers deep into enemy territory, providing much-needed protection against German interceptors. Pilots began to gain confidence in their new aircraft, fostering a sense of camaraderie and determination. Despite the significant improvements, many commanders still clung to outdated methods and beliefs. They viewed air combat through the lens of previous conflicts, failing to adapt to the new technological landscape. The P-51 represented a shift in thinking, yet its capabilities were not fully appreciated until the aircraft proved itself in combat. The initial skepticism of the Mustang's potential would soon give way to a realization that the tide of aerial warfare was turning. As the Allies launched their campaign against German forces, the P-51 became essential in ensuring air superiority. Missions over Europe highlighted the aircraft's exceptional range and firepower, as pilots engaged in dogfights that tested their skills against experienced German adversaries. The P-51 emerged not just as a fighter, but as a symbol of American ingenuity and determination in the face of adversity. The stage was set for a confrontation that would challenge existing beliefs about air power. The P-51 Mustang was no longer a mere aircraft. It embodied a new approach to warfare that emphasized adaptability, innovation, and the willingness to confront established norms. The impending battles would reveal the consequences of underestimating an opponent and the transformative power of technological advancement. The decisive factor that led to the downfall of the Luftwaffe was their underestimation of the P-51 Mustang's capabilities. German commanders held a profound belief in the superiority of their aircraft, particularly the Bf-109, and failed to recognize the advancements made by the Allies. This blind spot allowed the Allies to exploit gaps in German strategy, ultimately leading to a shift in air superiority. The German High Command had cultivated a culture that emphasized tradition and experience. They believed that their aircraft were the pinnacle of engineering, and this arrogance blinded them to the evolving tactics employed by the Allies. They viewed the P-51 as just another fighter, not realizing that its combination of speed, range, and firepower would fundamentally alter the course of air combat. Additionally, the Luftwaffe's strategic doctrine prioritized offensive operations, often overlooking the importance of effective defense against bomber formations. As Allied bombers penetrated deeper into German territory, the Luftwaffe struggled to respond effectively. They underestimated the P-51's role in escorting bombers, believing their fighters could easily dispatch any escorting aircraft. This miscalculation proved costly. German pilots were often overconfident, relying on their extensive training and experience in air combat. They failed to consider the potential for technological advancements to shift the balance of power. The P-51's ability to operate at higher altitudes and engage in extended dogfights caught many German pilots off guard, leading to shocking defeats in the skies over Europe. Moreover, the Luftwaffe's reliance on numbers rather than innovation hindered their ability to adapt. While they produced a significant number of aircraft, they did not invest in the research and development necessary to keep pace with Allied advancements. This failure to innovate led to a stagnation in their tactics, which the P-51 effectively exploited in combat. The belief that the Bf-109 could dominate the skies also stemmed from a lack of awareness regarding the capabilities of Allied pilots. American pilots, emboldened by their training and the newfound performance of the P-51, engaged in tactics that surprised and overwhelmed German forces. The shift in morale among Allied pilots was palpable, as they began to believe they could face any adversary. The German command structure became increasingly rigid, resisting changes in strategy that could have countered the P-51's impact. This complacency allowed the Allies to capitalize on their strengths while German forces faltered. The psychological effects of repeated defeats compounded the Luftwaffe's challenges, leading to a crisis in confidence among their pilots. Ultimately, the German failure to recognize the threat posed by the P-51 Mustang was a crucial error. This misjudgment allowed the Allies to gain the upper hand in air combat, leading to a series of victories that would reshape the outcome of the war. The P-51 stood not just as an aircraft, but as a symbol of the shifting tides in aerial warfare. The lessons learned from this conflict would resonate beyond the war itself. The importance of innovation, adaptability, and humility in the face of technological advancements became clear. As the Allies moved forward in their campaigns, they demonstrated that complacency could prove more dangerous than any adversary in the skies. The technology that turned the tide in favor of the Allies was the P-51 Mustang, a fighter aircraft that combined several critical innovations. At its core, the P-51 featured a powerful Rolls-Royce Merlin engine, which provided a significant boost in speed and altitude performance compared to earlier models. This engine allowed the Mustang to reach speeds of over 400 miles per hour and engage in combat at altitudes that were previously inaccessible for many Allied fighters. The second technical pillar of the P-51 was its aerodynamic design. The aircraft's sleek silhouette minimized drag, allowing for greater efficiency in flight. Engineers focused on optimizing the wing design to enhance maneuverability and speed, This attention to detail enabled the P-51 to outmatch the Bf-109 in dogfights, providing pilots with a significant advantage in aerial engagements. The third key innovation was the armament configuration of the P-51. Equipped with 650 caliber machine guns, the aircraft delivered a devastating punch in combat. This firepower, combined with the Mustang's speed and agility, allowed pilots to engage effectively with enemy fighters and protect bomber formations. The P-51's design featured synchronized firing mechanisms that ensured accuracy, further enhancing its combat effectiveness. These technological advancements translated into practical battlefield advantages that the Germans could not compensate for. The P-51's operational range exceeded that of the Bf-109, allowing it to escort bombers deep into enemy territory without the need for refueling. This ability to provide long-range support changed the dynamics of bombing campaigns, ensuring the safety of Allied aircraft during critical missions. German forces struggled to match the P-51's performance. Despite their numerical superiority, the Bf-109 could not effectively engage the Mustang in prolonged combat. The combination of the P-51's speed and firepower allowed Allied pilots to dictate the terms of engagement, forcing German pilots to adapt to a new reality that favored their adversaries. Moreover, the P-51's design incorporated features that enhanced pilot survivability. The cockpit was positioned for optimal visibility, and the aircraft's structure allowed for greater resilience during combat. This focus on pilot safety contributed to higher morale among Allied crews, who felt confident in their ability to confront German fighters. The technological edge of the P-51 Mustang became evident as the Allies gained air superiority. In dogfights, American pilots began to exploit the Mustang's capabilities, developing tactics that capitalized on its strengths. The combination of speed, firepower, and range made it a formidable opponent in the skies, reshaping the nature of aerial combat. As the war progressed, the P-51's innovations proved difficult for the Luftwaffe to counter. Their attempts to adapt and introduce new aircraft models frequently fell short as the P-51 continued to evolve and improve. This technological arms race highlighted the importance of innovation in warfare as the P-51 became a symbol of American ingenuity and resilience. The lessons learned from the P-51's development and deployment would inform future military strategies and aircraft designs. By understanding the significance of technological advancements, military leaders could better prepare for future conflicts, ensuring that they would not underestimate the power of innovation on the battlefield. On January 1, 1944, the skies over the German city of Schweinfurt became a battleground that would redefine air combat. Allied bombers launched a mission to strike at the heart of German industrial capabilities, targeting ball-bearing factories critical for the war effort. As the sun rose, the roar of engines filled the air, signaling the beginning of a fierce confrontation. American P-51 Mustangs, now equipped for long-range escort, prepared to accompany the bombers. As the bombers approached their target, German forces scrambled their fighters, determined to intercept the American formations. The P-51s positioned themselves around the bombers, creating a protective shield that would soon prove essential. The tension in the cockpit was palpable as pilots exchanged glances, knowing that they were about to face an experienced enemy. Suddenly, the first wave of German fighters appeared on the horizon, their sleek Bf-109s cutting through the clouds. The American pilots instinctively tightened their formations, ready to defend their charges. The ensuing dogfight erupted in a chaotic dance of aircraft, where skill and technology would determine the outcome. The P-51s engaged the German fighters with precision, their machine guns barking as they tore through the air. The American pilots quickly adapted, using the Mustang's speed to outmaneuver their opponents. The psychological shock among German pilots was evident. They soon realized that they were facing an unexpected adversary. In a critical moment, a P-51 pilot spotted a group of Messerschmitts targeting a vulnerable bomber. With a burst of determination, he dove into the fray, unleashing a hail of bullets that sent one German fighter spiraling to the ground. The tide of battle shifted as the P-51s showcased their superior capabilities, forcing the German forces into a defensive posture. As the bombers completed their mission, the P-51s continued to fend off attacks. The coordination between the fighters and bombers exemplified a new era of air warfare, where teamwork and technology converged to create a formidable force. The skies over Schweinfurt became a testament to the effectiveness of the P-51, as it outperformed the Bf-109 in every engagement. The aftermath of the battle revealed the devastating impact of the P-51's presence. American forces suffered fewer losses than expected, and the bombers returned home with their mission accomplished. The psychological ramifications for the Luftwaffe were profound, as they grappled with the realization that their air superiority was slipping away. The engagement over Schweinfurt marked a turning point in the air war, as the Allies began to assert dominance in the skies. The P-51 Mustang had proven its worth, transforming the landscape of aerial combat and setting the stage for future victories. This battle underscored the importance of innovation and adaptability in warfare, demonstrating that the best technology could indeed decide the outcome of conflicts. The arithmetic of victory in the air war over Europe hinged on the impressive metrics of the P-51 Mustang. To fully grasp its significance, consider the production numbers. Over 15,000 Mustangs were built by the end of the war. This mass production ensured that Allied forces had a reliable and effective fighter available in vast quantities, allowing them to maintain air superiority. The P-51's operational range was another crucial factor. With a combat radius of approximately 200 miles, the Mustang could escort bombers deep into enemy territory without the need for refueling. This extended range enabled Allied bombers to reach strategic targets across Germany, ensuring that the Luftwaffe could no longer rely on short-range interceptors to defend their airspace. Moreover, the Mustang's speed provided a significant advantage in combat. Capable of reaching speeds of over 400 miles per hour, it outpaced many German fighters, allowing American pilots to dictate the terms of engagement. This speed translated into tactical advantages, as P-51 pilots could rapidly reposition themselves to counter threats or support their bomber formations. In terms of firepower, the P-51 was equipped with 6 50-caliber machine guns, delivering a formidable punch in dogfights. This armament allowed pilots to engage effectively with enemy fighters, contributing to the P-51's reputation as a lethal adversary. The firepower combined with the Mustang's speed made it a challenge for German pilots to effectively counter the American threat. The P-51's performance also had direct consequences for mission success rates. Allied bombers, once vulnerable to German interceptors, could now operate with greater confidence, knowing they had the P-51s providing cover. This increased protection led to higher survival rates for bomber crews and improved overall mission success, allowing the Allies to sustain pressure on German industrial targets. The shift in air superiority was reflected in the loss ratios during engagements. American forces experienced a significant decrease in losses compared to earlier in the war, while German aircraft losses mounted. This imbalance in attrition rates highlighted the effectiveness of the P-51 and its role in turning the tide of aerial combat in favor of the Allies. Furthermore, the P-51's ability to escort bombers into the heart of Germany had a strategic impact on the Luftwaffe's operational capabilities. As American bombers struck critical targets, the Germans were forced to divert resources to defend their cities and industries, further stretching their already strained capabilities. The numbers tell a compelling story of how the P-51 Mustang influenced the air war. With its combination of production efficiency, operational range, speed, and firepower, the Mustang became a game-changer. The Allies' ability to leverage these advantages ultimately played a crucial role in their success during World War II. As the war progressed, the lessons learned from the operational performance of the P-51 would inform future military strategies and aircraft designs. The mathematics of victory in the air war underscored the importance of innovation and adaptability, shaping the way aerial combat would be conducted in the years to come. The systemic consequences of the P-51 Mustang's impact on World War II extended far beyond the battlefield. The aircraft played a crucial role in altering the perception of air power and reshaping military doctrine for generations to come. The collapse of the Luftwaffe's dominance in the skies marked a significant turning point in the war, demonstrating the importance of technological innovation and adaptability. The successful deployment of the P-51 challenged the long-held belief that numerical superiority would guarantee victory in air combat. German forces had relied on their established aircraft and tactics, but the emergence of the Mustang forced them to confront a new reality. This shift in air power dynamics prompted a re-evaluation of strategies on both sides, emphasizing the need for continuous innovation and development. In the post-war years, the lessons learned from the P-51's performance informed military strategies across the globe. The importance of long-range escort fighters became apparent, leading to the development of subsequent generations of aircraft designed to provide support for strategic bombers. The Mustang set a precedent for balancing speed, firepower, and operational range in fighter design. Additionally, the P-51's success fostered a culture of collaboration between engineers and military strategists. The close partnership between North American aviation and the U.S. Army Air Forces demonstrated the value of integrating innovative thinking with practical military needs. This collaboration would become a model for future aircraft development programs. The P-51 Mustang also left a lasting legacy in the realm of aviation history. Its iconic design and performance became a symbol of American ingenuity during World War II. The aircraft is remembered not only for its contributions to the Allied victory, but also as a testament to the potential of innovation in overcoming seemingly insurmountable challenges. As military aviation evolved in the decades following the war, the principles exemplified by the P-51 continued to resonate. The importance of adaptability in the face of changing threats became a central tenet of military strategy, influencing the design and deployment of modern combat aircraft. The Mustang's legacy can be seen in the emphasis on versatility and technological advancement in contemporary air forces. The impact of the P-51 Mustang extended beyond military applications, influencing aerospace engineering and technology. The innovations developed during its creation contributed to advancements in civilian aviation, showcasing the interconnectedness of military and civilian aerospace industries. The lessons learned from the Mustang's design and performance informed future aircraft, paving the way for more efficient and capable planes. In retrospect, the P-51 Mustang represented not just a turning point in air warfare, but a broader shift in military thinking. Its success underscored the need for continuous innovation and adaptation in the face of evolving challenges. The systemic consequences of its deployment reverberated through military history, shaping the strategies and technologies that would define aerial combat for years to come. The legacy of the P-51 Mustang serves as a reminder of the transformative power of innovation in warfare. As nations continue to develop and refine their military capabilities, the lessons learned from the Mustang's success will remain relevant, guiding future generations of military leaders and engineers. Reflecting on the journey of the P-51 Mustang, it becomes clear that the question of air superiority was reshaped by ingenuity and strategic thinking. The belief that superior technology alone would guarantee victory was upended. Instead, it was the combination of innovative design and adaptability that ultimately triumphed. It wasn't the best aircraft that won, but the best system of collaboration and innovation that decided the outcome of the war. What other invisible forces shaped the course of history in ways we have yet to understand?